Hey, come here, Alexa. I'm making a collection video for today, but I feel like I'm missing a bunch of little things.
That's because I have my own collection.
Your own collection? Of what?
Your stuff.
Wait, what? My stuff?
Yeah, in my drawer.
You have a drawer?
Look down, idiot.
Well, how am I gonna know which one's your... Oh, how have I never noticed this before? Oh man, Lacey Evans' skirt? Bailey's deflated buddy? Liv Morgan's robe? Oh, a Raw Women's Championship? Yeah, I got a lot of those. Whoa, I've been looking everywhere for this. It's my mayor's badge.
You mean my mayor badge?
Listen, we are supposed to be working together to run this town of LumberJillville, not stealing from one another. You're the co-mayor.
Then why don't I have my own badge?
I tell you what, for Jillmas this year, I promise you I will get you your very own badge. But you do have to do one thing for me. You have to show me the Jillmas spirit, and I want you to wear an ugly sweatshirt with me all month long.
That's easy. I have one already made. Be right back.
Yeah, by all means, go ahead and change, yeah. I have to tell you, though, I was a little worried, a little nervous that you weren't going to be in the Jillmas spirit this year. I mean, usually we put on our sweatshirts the 1st of December, and we're good to go. But for you, you kind of held off a little bit, and I didn't understand why. What are you wearing? Is that my face?
You said ugly sweater, didn't you?
Well, I could get better. Pretty? See you. Hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. Women's Wrestling lives here, and welcome to a collection update of my collection. And not only that, in today's video, we're finally going to get a detailed look at the Treasurer's collection. He's got some really cool things. So with that being said, let's get started. So let's first cover the Tower, as I call it. Now this is probably the newest addition to my collection that you don't see too often in the backgrounds of my videos. So up top here we have the styrofoam head that I actually did buy when I got that Shotzi replica helmet, because it just looks good to put the helmet on top of there. But down the road during Jilloween, when I dressed up as Nikki Ash, it was perfect to put the mask on as well. So we kind of have a mishmash of Nikki Ash and Shotzi on that helmet. Then we have that Firefly Funhouse cardboard cutout that my daughter loves to play with. And then we have the Showdown 2-pack Charlotte and Rhea, and they're up on top of the shelf because I honestly don't know where to put them with those display stands. It takes up a lot of space. I don't really know where they fit in my collection, but hey, they're here somewhere, so there it is. Next up, we have my Sasha shelf. Now, this is one of my favorite parts of my collection. You know, I have every Sasha Banks figure, and I'm slowly collecting all of her merch as well. So I'd like to do a video here soon just showing my whole Sasha collection up close, so I won't spend too much time here. But yeah, I have a lot of different Sasha stuff. I even have a Sasha mouse pad, which we'll get to later. But yeah, that's one of my favorite shelves here. Moving on down, we have the Legend shelf. Now, this is mostly Mattel figures. There are some Jacks in there. And down the road, when Jazzwares releases Legends, this is exactly where they will go. So this is what I call my little Legend shelf. And I have a bunch of just women's wrestling legends here. So yeah, a lot of them I actually haven't reviewed on the channel. So there's a lot of figures in here that I do need to review down the road on the channel. So just holler at me if there's a particular one that you want to see down the road. And then next up here, we have my NXT women's shelf. Now, this is a very hard, kind of gray area when I'm trying to decide who goes on this shelf, because a lot of these NXT superstars were called up to the main roster. You know, unfortunately, a lot of them are released now. So I just kind of went with putting the women in their NXT looks on this shelf. You know, if I did extra research and found out that attire they wore in their figures from NXT, I put them on this shelf. But either way, I just wanted to pay tribute to my favorite brand, honestly, in wrestling, and one of the best women's divisions around, if not the best. So I like my little NXT shelf here. And then moving down, this isn't really organized, but this is my daughter's cubby. She wanted a cubby, and she likes to collect things and put them in here, but not necessarily set them up. So this is basically a bunch of strong female characters. Now, a few of these I did by myself, but she did say you can put them on my shelf. You know, she didn't pick them out. But the ones that she really wanted for her shelf is the MOC Britt Baker and this Candice LeRae. I mean, she likes to play with her figures, but the funniest thing about that is when she got this Candice LeRae, she said, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I just want to keep it in its box." And I said, that, my friend, is an MOC collector. So it's kind of her first experience really wanting to do that. So I got a kick out of that, and she has an MOC. So yeah, I'll help her organize that at some point. And then moving down, it's the one and only. Well, yeah, I guess I have another shelf, but this is kind of my men's figures. Now, if you've watched my collections in the past, you've noticed that the collection has gotten smaller as far as the men's figures go. This is the one and only area that I have for them, and I kind of just put my favorite figures and favorite wrestlers in this area here. So as you can see, unfortunately, another common denominator in my collection is a lot of these WWE Mattel figures that I have are of guys that are released, and that's just the unfortunate truth, because that's I don't know, I guess those are my favorite guys, the ones that tend to get released. We got Lindsay on top. He might have been my very first elite in general. When I got back into collecting and started collecting the women, I came across this Lindsay Chase, and I believe I got it the same night as Natty, so it might not have been the first, but it was definitely one of the first, and I will never get rid of that Lindsay. Oh no! And Luke literally just kicked over the men's shelf. So we'll get a little look at Luke here, and yeah, I'll clean it up here. But yeah, so that's my little men's shelf area here. It's not too big. It's almost shrinking more than expanding, but let's move on. So real quick, I wanted to show you what it looks like when I turn off the lights and turn on the lights that I put in there, these puck lights, and it represents the LJV colors, the neon pink on the top, the white in the middle, and the neon yellow on the bottom. And it kind of coincides with the shelves themselves. You know, I think the pink really does look good with the Sasha figures and the Sasha shelf. The classy white light is good with the Legends, and then the yellow light represents the old NXT colors, yellow and black. So I really, truth being told, don't use these lights a whole lot. I think it looks good like that, but I need to find a way to put it toward the front of the shelf so it really illuminates the faces. So it's just a cool little side thing I wanted to show y'all. So next up, we will cover kind of the main thing you see in the background of my videos in LumberJillville here, and that's my main white cabinet that I'm always rotating in and out as far as what I have on display. So up on the top of the cabinet here, we have the Riot Squad set up. Obviously, love those women. I loved what they were doing in WWE. Up here, we have the 2021 Elites. Now, there are a lot of the 2020 Elites that aren't up here, but I do have them, and I'm going to do a video this month where I show you an up-close look at every single Elite, every single Basic, every single AEW Women's figure, and I'm going to let y'all vote for the Jillies. I think the Jillies will be in January. But yeah, so I just wanted to put some of the Elites up there. And then we have Liv Morgan. That's a standout one to me, honestly. And we will talk about cards later, so I'll get to that Liv Morgan auto card. Now moving down, this is the part of my display that's always rotating, so I'll move slowly. You know, I have these spice racks I got from Walmart that I just like to put some different women's wrestling figures on there that might grab some attention, they might stand out, and they might be some of my favorites. And yeah, I basically just always rotate them, always switch them. Over here, you know, there's a couple little spaces because I've probably used a figure for a certain video, that or it fell behind the cabinet, you know, one of the two. And then in the front here, I just kind of like to put, I guess, modern day current event wrestlers and wrestling situations. So Carmella and Zelina at the time of this video, you know, they just recently won the Women's Tag Team Championships. So I put them front and center. When the Iconics were released, I had them front and center. I got the Charlotte Ultimate, which might have got me really started on collecting MOC women's figures, and I'll show you those. But yeah, this Charlotte Ultimate is excellent, but on top of that, Ultimates are really skyrocketing in value, and I don't plan on holding on to this and selling it. I just, quite frankly, wanted a separate Charlotte because my daughter had the only other one I had, so yeah, I think it's cool, and that's what means something to me. You know, that's why I keep things MOC, is if I think they're cool. I really have no plans to sell any of my women's figures. So, moving on the wall here, we have the Elite Kelly Kelly, the first women's wrestling elite ever, and that will always stay on my wall somewhere in the background. Then we have Naomi up here. Now this Naomi is in a protector box, and the reason I have it hanging up is because it makes me happy. You know, like I said that whenever I was doing the review of this figure over a year ago, that this figure just made me smile and made me truly have fun the entire review, and that to me was something special and gave me affirmation that I was supposed to be doing this, was supposed to be doing women's wrestling figure reviews, because boy, I just have a blast doing them, y'all. And this Naomi figure, like everything from the intro to the review to the glow test, I just had a blast, and it was one of my favorite experiences I've had on this channel, so I really wanted to hang something up that was valuable to me. And there it is. So I love that. I love that. Now over here we have this Ember Moon. Now let me get y'all closer because it is a factory error, I guess you could call it. You know, I got this from Ringside Collectibles, and if you look closely in the lower half, it's missing the straps, the strap pieces. And yeah, I reached out to them and said, hey, I think mine's missing the straps that went in the lower body. And they sent me another one free of charge, so I kept this factory error one MOC because that's just a unique, you know, kind of cool variant, I guess you can say, to have MOC. So, and I am going to skim past autographs because we will cover those on their own. Now here is kind of the island of misfit toys, and I don't mean that because these figures are bad, because these are some of my favorite elites. But with this collection always changing in this very top area, always having like the newest, most up-to-date elites, the previous years have to go somewhere, and I put them here. You know, this always changes behind me, so I'm not taking too much time showing y'all the setup because, like I said, I'm always kind of flipping it around. But a lot of these are 2020 elites. I think we have the Master Stephanie back there for some reason. She's just creeping back there. And if you hear train in the background, I apologize. You know, where I live is very high train volume. Here is something new here, and this is my Bailey shelf. Now, I do have every Bailey figure. I have every Bailey buddy, too. Okay, that blue one's hiding. I was going to say, where's my Bailey buddy? But I have all the Bailey buddies, which was harder to complete than the figures. It's hard to track down both the halves of that. We have every Bailey figure, and yeah, I will be doing a figure evolution of Bailey. I might wait till when she comes back to kind of celebrate, but I will be going through all of those figures. Now, if you watch the channel, you know that I did a figure evolution of Becky Lynch, and this is a lot of Becky Lynch's, y'all. And I did a video that covered all of those, so that was a lot of fun. And here's my little Becky corner. Moving down, this is my Paige corner here, or Paige cubby, I guess you can call it. Now, this is one of my favorites because Paige didn't have that many figures, so it was a lot easier to display and make it look a lot cleaner in display, I guess, when I was putting this little cubby together. So I really like how this looks, and I'll probably keep it like this. If I get some additional Paige merch, I'll definitely put it in here. But yeah, this is one of my favorite little cubbies because there wasn't a whole lot of figures released. You know what I'm saying? And then down here we have Luke just trying to get my attention, trying to get some love, but that's okay. He's part of this tour. Next we have my AEW women's figures, and these have moved everywhere because I try to get them in a prominent spot. Like I had them on this shelf up there, but with the stockings hung up, they're kind of blocked, and I'm hoping to get Ty Conti before Christmas, so we'll see. But yeah, so I have them displayed here. We have a Wasted Wrestling shirt. It fell out of Britt's hand. I will put it back in the hand. Shout out to Wasted Wrestling, really good dude, really big supporter of LumberJillville, and yeah, very, very cool person, and I appreciate everything he's done. And also up here, if you notice that Lacey in the LumberJillville shirt, that was gifted to me by Wasted Wrestling. So pretty awesome dude. Over here we have my Ronda Cubby, which has pretty much stayed this way for a while. I mean, obviously she hasn't had a figure released in a while, but I love my little Ronda Cubby. Now I do have a Ronda card collection there because I had plans, and I have plans Oh, his tail is about to knock over AJ's. This is dangerous. But I had plans of putting those cards up in the cubby kind of as wallpaper, and I still really want to do that with Rhonda because I think she's definitely a big influencer and contributor to the growth of the women's division, whether people like it or not, you know what I mean? And I just think she did a lot and brought a lot of eyes to the women's division and women's wrestling. So just wanted to give her her own cubby. Next we have, oh, look at that tail. Oh boy, we have the Nikki Bella cubby. Oh wow, I gotta get that tail out of the way. Oh my gosh. So the Nikki Bella cubby is, yeah, I mean, I did a figure history video of all of Nikki Bella's figures. I will do a Brie at some point. I just want to wait a while from when I did the Nikki because the Brie ones are pretty much the same. You know, obviously she has a couple solo releases, but yeah, so there's all my Nikki Bellas. There might be a couple not there that might have fallen over somewhere. But either way. Next we have an Ant-Man shelf. I've covered that tons of times, just talking about why I like Ant-Man so much, and Scott Lang. That is the superhero version of me, just my favorite hero. I always want a cubby kind of representing that, and it's out of view of the camera, so I know it has nothing to do with women's wrestling, but it's just sentimental to me. So one day I'll move that, you know, I'll move that and have this be another women's wrestling cubby, but for now it stays. And then over here, truth being told, this cubby had just tons and tons of random figures here, and I decided, you know what, for this video, I'll put the AJ Lee's that I have, all of AJ Lee's figures here, and I did it in such a neat fashion that looks awkward to the rest of my collection, because if you look, you know, I kind of have it all over the place, have it crazy and fun, and this is just set up real neat and proper, and she's standing at attention, you know, like... But either way, I did a history video of AJ Lee figures. Pretty cool figures and amazing talent. So, yeah, I just wanted to show that. Now, moving to the bottom, unfortunately, this is where I need a lot of work to do. But the reasoning is, like, if you just look at it, there's just a mess. And the reasoning is, this is where, when I'm filming my up-close figure reviews and stuff, my lights. So there's my lights here, the bottoms. A lot of the bases will have to go in there for me to have room. And things just get knocked over. They get toppled, so I don't spend too much time decorating. Because initially, this with, Johnny Drip Drip there and Pentagon. And a lot of these other guys, they were here. I don't know what Dexter, I mean, this is one of my favorite men's figures of all time. I love this. I put him somewhere random like every week, so he has no right being in here because this is all my Impact Wrestling. Okay, neither do these two. This is kind of like my Impact Wrestling 2018 shelf. You know, I was a big fan of Impact Wrestling in 2018, and a lot of these superstars were there, and I'm kind of adding to it. I had Madison Rayne in here too, but I think her leg popped out or something. So yeah, this shelf is just always going to be clustered, and I guess apparently my daughter put the Bray Wyatt lamp in Charlotte's hand, so that's her now. It works, you know what I mean? We'll let it roll. We'll let it roll. It works. It was Lacey Chase. And yeah, I'll figure somewhere to put old Loomis. Next up is what I call, you know, the 90s collection of my men's figures. I guess this is the other area that I have men's figures that I was talking earlier. And a lot of these were inspired by King of the Ring 1994. Now, there's so many names I need to add to this. You know, if Owen Hart has a Jazzwares that comes out, I need it. And then Bret Hart Ultimate I need to get. Like, there's a bunch I'm adding, and it's just going to be in this because the King of the Ring 1994 was my earliest wrestling memory ever. It was on Father's Day. I watched it with my grandpa, my dad, and it's very special to me. So I just wanted to display that specialness and have a little area that simulates, you know, that night with some of those wrestlers. And then over here we have a complete mishmash. This used to be like a locker room that my daughter made. And, yeah, now it's just random stuff that Ant-Man should be up here. But you know what? It is what it is. And here's Luke trying to find a way to take down the Jomas tree. So there's that. Now, we'll just go right along over here. And what I mean by over here is there's this shelf here. And then in the background of my videos, there's stockings and all that. So we have this autographed Jacqueline figure, which is gifted by Craig of EWO. Shout out. Amazing person. We have the Zelina Vega Elite Collector Edition, MOC and a protector. I was so nervous when this came out that we weren't going to get another Zelina, you know, obviously because she was released at the time. And I'm such a big fan that I just had to get multiple, so I did. But obviously she's back, so hopefully we get more figures. This one rules. We have this Francine Legends. Not sure. There goes the display thumbtack there, but this is the 56 out of 100. This Francine, I mean, this is an FTC figure, and love them or hate them. I mean, they're trying, you know what I mean? Like, so this was okay. I mean, it was an okay figure, but yeah, so I like it because it's limited out of 100. It's an early bird first release, so I'm just going to set that down here because it totally shot the thumbtack out, and that'll probably end up in my foot later. Next, we have this Naomi autograph piece. I did do this background. I used like glow-in-the-dark splatter paint, but the thing is, oh, look at my dude here. But the thing is, it takes up so much space, so that's why it's down here, and yeah, eventually it'll make its way back up. And then over here, we have, let me move my lights a little bit. Okay, we have this little house that my daughter decorated. We have our stockings hung up, me and the Total Metellas girls. We have Comair Alexa, Mayor Aaron, Robo Tamina, and Diva Marie took the stocking assignment literally and really hung up stockings. So up here we have the Miss Elizabeths that have pretty much lived up here since I put the shelf in, you know, at the early stages of the video. Like, Miss Elizabeth to me is just a truly amazing individual. You know, even though she really didn't wrestle, it was just her presence that really brought some respect to the women and made women prominent in wrestling. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Miss Elizabeth, and these three figures I will never get rid of. I will never sell. Then up here we just have really random figures. I won't spend too much time. Just a lot of random women's figures up here. We even got Maurice. What's up, Maurice? That's my favorite Maurice, just chilling. We got Lacey. We got Zelina. Got that Zelina auto card. And then this used to be my Sasha shelf. So behind these stockings, you'll see this random shelf of random figures and then the remnants of the Sasha shelf, which are all these cards. So I need to take those and put them up in that cabinet up there. But yeah, so this is just kind of random figures, and this is always changing the shelf. So the Eve Torreses I just reviewed on the channel. We got that Miss Tessmacher Impact figure. And then we have the Kelly Elite loose in great condition, but that is such an expensive figure and one that's special that I feel like that loose version needs to be on display and shouldn't be put away. And then this was my daughter's previous shelf here. So she does always try to decorate and move things around here. Even in that last video, she was in the background messing with it. So, you know, I got some Topps Chrome cards this year, and she took the favorite ones of hers in that set and put them on the shelf there. And yeah, there's my custom Lana. She likes that. She made that custom for Halloween last year, and yeah, we just have those. And we have this autographed Summer Rae, again gifted by Craig from the EWO, and I've shown that before, but that's definitely an important part of my collection there. It means a lot to me. So yeah, that is my figure display, kind of my background. You know, let me give you a little outside glimpse. So when I'm filming, you know, my lights are set up there, and let me show y'all how it looks, a little behind the scenes look. You know, okay, it's not that close. Let me move this back. And yeah, we got my microphone that'll sit there, and then hey y'all, welcome to LumberJillville. That's how I sound. Yep. So that's the figure area. Alright, so real quick, I just want to show you that I have a few bins like this full of women's wrestling figures that are figures that just aren't on display, or I might have multiples of, so I put them in here. Now, I do have a lot of these little things, but I just wanted to show you one because I think y'all will get the point. But I know some people like seeing big containers full of random figures and kind of like to look and see what they can find. Even Luke's in on this. You know what I mean? He's trying to see what he can find in there. But, you know, I've reviewed the Funkadactyls, and they're out here. A lot of these figures will make it to my display at some point because they're pretty cool. So, yeah, these are definitely two that I did have on display a little bit ago, but they must have fallen, so they're in here. And then, let's see. Yeah, we just got some really random ones. We have this Team Bella Alicia Fox, which is a pretty unique Alicia figure, so I think that's pretty cool. And yeah, so I just have a lot of random bins like this, so I just wanted to kind of show y'all that what you see in my videos up here and around isn't all that I have. I actually do have a lot more women's wrestling figures. I'm just always shuffling them in and out. So here's kind of like my little office corner, I guess, and this is where I do a lot of video editing and YouTube video uploading. So I really added a lot from my last collection video and try to make it a lot more fun. You know, I have a blast sitting here editing stuff, and it's all based on what I surrounded myself with, honestly. So I'll show you a lot of that because a lot of that's new. So over here I have the AEW women's figures MOC just lined up. I think Jazzwares has truly a beautiful packaging. I think it looks so good keeping these figures MOC. Now, obviously, I opened them for the reviews, but I had to get a little, uniform lineup of the releases of the women. Because yeah, I really like the packaging. Now I know. I'm missing the Chase figures. I know I'm gonna get that comment a lot, honestly. But here's the thing with the Chase figures. Like, I've tried so hard and gone all over the place trying to find the Chase figures, and I haven't. And quite frankly, financially, I don't think I could forgive myself if I spent what they're going for on eBay. Yeah, I just don't think they're worth that, to be honest with you. And I don't know, there's something up with the distribution of the Chases. So yeah, hopefully, the Riho Chase is honestly one of my grail pieces from my collection that I'd like to have. But at this point, it is what it is. I'm not stressing myself or spending way too much money trying to get them, because yeah, there's something up with the distribution there. And yeah, unfortunately, I haven't came across any. But all of you that have came across any of these women's Chases, like, bravo, good for you. That's awesome. Seriously, good job. And I can't wait for the day that I do one day. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I just don't have those hanging up because I don't have them. But yeah, something that I think is really cool is Jazzwares has literally improved every series on these women. It's pretty amazing, and Ty Conti should be here soon, and will be right here, and I can't freaking wait to see the final product, because boy, those images looked amazing. I can't wait. So moving on over to, I guess, beside where I sit, this is where it starts, kind of the WWE collection. My favorite line, is Mattel WWE with the women. And these two, this Survivor Series Elite Bayley and SummerSlam Carmella, I have in protectors. And so the Carmella I have in a protector because that kind of simulates the era that I dove into the women's division, and I absolutely love that era Carmella, so I had to have one protected. It's special to me, and yeah, so that's why I have that. And this Bayley just has an awesome box, and obviously I love Bayley. She's one of my favorite wrestlers, but I really like how these two boxes kind of stand out, and they're so different than most of the elites that I have up on the wall, so that's why I put them in protectors. And then over here we have that Elite 90 Reckoning, which anyone that watched my review knows that this is one of my favorite figures, like, ever. I love it. It's super cool. I had to get one to hang up MOC, so there it is. Yeah, then I have Liv Morgan, this basic. It was released last year, but it's still, to this day, one of my favorite figures. It really does give me hope that they can do a good job with these women's basics and make them good figures if they put the attention to detail and care into the figures like they did this Liv Morgan. So, yeah, it's a beacon of hope, and I have it MOC for that reason. Now, this Liv Morgan Elite 85, I'll be honest with you, I didn't plan on displaying one MOC because I think it looks so tacky and ridiculous, like absolutely ridiculous, that she comes with a bathrobe MOC. I think that looks so dumb, but this figure is truly amazing. I can't say enough good about it, so I had to get one for the MOC display. And then we have some of my favorite elites, mostly for this past year, a couple from last year, but we got that 87 Asuka and Lorraine, that 79 Io Shirai, my favorite of all time. We got the 82 Bliss, we got the 85 Becky, the 80 Bayley, and the 81 Bianca here. So yeah, these are just some of my favorites. I hung them next to me because when I'm sitting here editing, I like to kind of look over and just check them out. Check out these figures and just see why I'm doing this, like why I'm trying to carry the flag for these women's wrestling figures and why I love them so much, because these things are works of art. They're awesome. These women are amazing, and they deserve the respect and attention, and that's what I'm here for. And then we have Sasha in this prime spot. I'm going to put her in a protector probably because of the whole story that I've told a million times, how, Christmas Eve, I don't get my daughter. I'm alone on Christmas Eve, but this figure came on Christmas Eve last year, and it really did make my night. It means a lot to me. It's special to me. I freaking love it. So I will always hold this true. And I do need to put it in a protector, because now that I tell y'all the sentimental love and the reason why I love this figure so much, it makes me feel like I need to put it in a protector. Sorry, Naya. You know what I mean? Like, oops. But anyway, so we have this 2-pack here of Jim and Natty Neidhart. Now, I like the little father-daughter 2-pack. I think that's amazing, me being a girl dad. And then I got Rick and Charlotte. Don't know how much longer this will be hanging up here. I'd like to sell the Rick, to be honest with you. The Charlotte's freaking cool. I mean, that's a cool Charlotte, but Rick, I think, has to go. I think he's got to go. But I just have it because it's a father-daughter type thing. So, yeah. Next up down here, we have this. It's my only microballer I have. Craig from the EWO sent this to me. It's Victoria autographed. Pretty awesome. One of the best. One of the best. Shares a birthday with your boy, Mayor Aaron. So that's awesome. Then we have over here just a couple MOC basics. We got the Scarlet Chase. You know, anyone that watched my video knows I do prefer the regular Scarlet way more than this. But it's the Chase, and Chases are neat. Next up, I have 124 EO. I just have it hanging up because I love EO. And then we have the Chase for Lacey in 119. And then I have, you know, when Nia was released, I was never a huge fan of Nia Jax, but she's had some of the best figures. And I just wanted to have an MOC Nia figure for my collection. I don't know how long I'll keep this or how long I'll hold on to it because, yeah, I wasn't a biggest fan of Nia Jax. But obviously, like I said in my videos, I don't want anyone to ever lose their jobs, and I wish her nothing but the best. And this figure's pretty great looking. But, yeah, I just have that. Haven't decided where I'm going to hang it. And then on the desk, we just have a lot of random figures that a lot of times when I'm reviewing or recording the podcast with the treasurer or doing something, 9 times out of 10, I've got Carmella over here. And it's just kind of funny because, I don't know, this Elite is very posable and very durable. And I'm always just moving it around, putting her in the moonwalk pose, and yeah, just kind of fidgeting. It's like my little fidget toy. Even when I'm like uploading and editing, like this is the one figure that I'm always kind of moving around and fidgeting with. So yeah, this is a very special figure to me. I'm just realizing because I do that. But anyway, I have a lot of loose figures on my desk. Yeah, obviously you'll notice that I do have, there's 2 men on my desk. What they doing in LumberJillville, you know what I'm saying? But I got that Macho Man, my all-time favorite men's wrestler, and then Damian Priest, my current favorite men's wrestler. I just think they're great figures, and I had to get them. I really did. So over here, I just have a bunch of loose figures of some of my favorite of the past year or two. And yeah, these are ones that when I'm editing, I like to just, you know, like I said, if something's uploading, I'm bored, I just move them around, put them in poses, try to get ideas for my Instagram and whatnot. So yeah, but this Carmella is the one that I always use, really. Then we just have some cards here. This Tori Wilson card is a relic card that was given to me by Craig once again. It's pretty cool. Dude, my boy Luke is under here. Let's see what he's doing. Oh, we busted him. What are you doing? What are you doing? What'd you do? We busted him, y'all. But yeah, so I'm going to sit down here and show y'all a book that I recently got because I don't think I've showed anybody. You know, I tried doing like an old WWE magazine video, and it did really bad. But look at this book I got. It's called Breaking Down Doors, and it's basically, you'd think it was like a kid's read or something. But man, it is pretty freaking awesome and really is everything that I'm about here in LumberJillville. I mean, it's got images, photos, descriptions, talks about current day, 90s. It's a really fun book, really, you know, easy to read, but the way that it's laid out is pretty phenomenal. I mean, this book needs to win freaking awards here because it's pretty amazing everything that's in here. So I haven't read the whole thing, but I would highly suggest, like, for your women's wrestling fans this Christmas or Jillmas, go ahead and get them this Kicking Down Doors book because this thing is pretty freaking awesome. And it's definitely nice to have here. I just flip through it when I'm uploading and whatnot. So next we'll cover my autographs. You know, I have not a whole lot, but I want to make sure the autographs, when I do get them, that they're special to me. And I get them from WWE auction or, you know, find a PSA certified site. Or, you know, like in the case of this Melina, I did a virtual meet and greet. And it was my first one I ever done, and it was truly amazing. You know, she seems like such an amazing person, definitely an idol and icon to me. So this is a very special autograph that it's not hanging up right now because, quite frankly, it's so special. I want to make sure it's in a spot that means a lot. So I'm trying to figure out where to hang it exactly. You know, I already covered that Naomi autograph. I need to get that back up. We have this Jacqueline auto on the figure that Craig got me. And he also got me this Jacqueline autographed little promo photo. So he knows that I truly think Jacqueline was one of the true trailblazers and one of the best. And man, we need a Jacqueline Elite so bad. I would lose my cookies if we got one, but she really was so different, so athletic, and so tough at a time where, yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of wrestlers like her. So yeah, I'd love to see an Elite of her. Now, this might be my favorite auto. You know what I mean? Shotzi, I think this Shotzi auto is just cool, man. I love Shotzi. I think it's BA, dude. I love it. I love how it looks. Yeah. This is my daughter's favorite auto that I have, this Io Shirai. It's like a metallic series, 30 out of 50, it says in the corner there. But when I got this, she was like, that is so cool. I think everything from the metallic signature to the little laser light to her pose, my daughter loves this autograph photo, loves it. So that'll probably always be up. And of course, I'm a huge Io Shirai fan. She's my favorite, so I have to have that up. But yeah, these two are some of my favorites. And we have this Britt Baker personalized auto. Believe High Spots was doing a little autograph thing there, and I got that, so that's pretty awesome. I love Britt. And over here we got a Sasha Banks auto, y'all. So this might have been the first auto I've got in my collection, honestly. It was on WWE auction. Now, truth being told, there is so much more I wanted to show y'all, like my card collection, my t-shirt collection, but this video is long, and we could save that for another video in the future. Plus, we have the treasurer for the first time ever is going to give us a sneak peek of his little man cave in his collection. So, with that being said, let's transition over to the treasure.
Hey everyone, Treasurer here. Mayor Aaron asked me to show you guys my collection. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. I have a little bit of everything. Some video games, obviously some wrestling figures. I'll show you best that I can. And like I said, hopefully everybody enjoys this. Thanks. All right, starting with my randomness here in the room. I have a bunch of different video games, some other books, and other types of VHS tapes down here on the bottom. I'm going to go through this. Well, I'll give you guys a scan. You guys can go ahead and stop the video if you want to see what games I actually have. But let me go ahead and get close here, and I'll start with the Sega Genesis collection. Again, not necessarily related to wrestling, but these were games that I had as a kid, moving into my Sega CD collection. And every game that you do see here, I do have the corresponding console with it. Move over to all my PlayStation collections. Yep. And down into PlayStation 3. Again, not that impressive. Just a lot of video games. Over here in the GameCube, I do have an N64, and here's some N64 titles I have. Here's my PlayStation 1 collection. I still have, these are all games that I had since a kid, and I still have the original PlayStation as well. And obviously some World of Warcraft and other 90s computer games. Moving down here, just some other random things that I have sitting here. DS, some other PlayStation games here, it looks like, yep. And some PC games on top of a McDonald's Pokemon card thing that came with one of my kids' Happy Meals. But my PlayStation 4 collection isn't very good. It all kind of went digital after a while. So let's move over here to what everybody's probably wanting to see. So we obviously have Hulk Hogan and Diamond Dallas Page here guarding the room. That's an original Hulk Hogan wrestling buddy. And, you know, obviously the DDP, that's from the late 90s, I believe. So I think he still talks. I just don't have any batteries in him. I do have some MOC collection here. I do keep them on the wall. This is the Chase Rick Rude from the Elites. Obviously, Rob Gronkowski. Not necessarily a rare figure, but I like him, and I didn't really want to take him out of the package. Here we have Series 1 AEW Unrivaled Kenny Omega. I don't really like the figure. Again, we all know the skin tone issues, but it's cool, and I like that I have the Series 1, so I wanted to keep it MOC. And naturally, we have the Series 3 Darby Allin. Moving down, obviously, Luchasaurus, great figure. The Chase Ted DiBiase, back when I actually found Elite Legend Series in my local Targets. And then the Chase Jake the Snake Roberts, which this attire is one of the coolest. You can see the boots a little bit there. He matches basically the Hasbro version from Series 1 that I'll show you here in a little bit. Ultimate Warrior. This was like the first rare find that I found at my local Target. I was actually on the phone with the mayor, and it was a pretty exciting time. Moving down, we get into some of the DDP collection I have. Here's an older Elite. I can't remember what series that is. Elite Series 36 DDP. I believe he also has a chase with a blue band around his waist, but somebody can correct me. This was for my birthday last year. The mayor got me this DDP, the Classic Superstars version with the great gold, big gold belt. And then here's my pride and joy, the Diamond Dallas page that was online only exclusive here from Series 10. Thank you to the EWO again for helping me out with that. I was able to get a trade and get that. Here's my MOC Davey Boy Smith. Again, I really like British Bulldogs, so I wanted to make sure I kept that MOC. And then down below, we have our Undertaker Collector's Edition. Not very rare, just a cool figure I didn't really want to tear out of the package. And then my Alistair Black that I found while traveling for work, so wanted to keep that MOC. So let's move over to the top of this shelf that you usually see behind me. Here's just some random Topps cards that Mayor Aaron was able to put together for me. This Superstar wrestling theme cassette tape we've talked about on the podcast a couple times. We have a Hacksaw Jim Duggan watching over everything in the room. Just a couple cards that Mayor Aaron actually sent me. And then these die-cast WCW cards. I believe that's Diamond Dallas Page and then Chris Jericho. I had those since I was a kid. Moving down into our Hasbro collection here. Well, first, let's start with the Hasbro ring. This is original. This is the first version. As you can see, it's kind of dirty, but it's the first version before they changed the ring posts. So very cool. I did have the belt at one point that went on the announcer table. I'm sure that got lost throughout all the moves. So moving over here, here's my Hasbro collection. Again, most of these were from when I was a kid. I had them, but there were a few that I bought after the fact. So my Hulk Hogan is suffering the same problem that others do where I lost its pinky. But I did buy this Texas Tornado and this Ultimate Warrior right here, bought him, and this other Ted DiBiase, and obviously Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I believe I've talked about those, but those were all ones that I've bought since I've started collecting again. Moving down here, we got some newer AEW figures and some newer Mattels here. And moving into the Toy Biz era, this was toys that Mayor and I played with as kids. Again, I think I've pointed out what my favorite Toy Biz figure is. Oddly enough, is that Buff Bagwell in the back. There's just something about it I really like. I used to have all the accessories, but obviously I don't have any of them anymore. But there's that collection. Then moving down into my Elites. Again, Kurt Angle, Sid Justice, kind of adding to it as I go. Not very good at standing these up and posing them, so they're all kind of in generic poses, and so sue me later for that. And down here is the last shelf of Elites, just different random ones, AEW figures. Obviously some of the newer ones that I got, the newer Legends series. And then this shelf here is my box, it's not my box, I'm sorry, my basic shelf. This is the shelf that my kids are allowed to grab from, mainly because I don't want them to lose all the accessories that come with the Elites. And the only other thing I will show is this over here, is the Milkomania wagon. I got that from Ringside Collectibles. And then below it is just a big shelf full of all of my old systems. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. And actually, before I go, let me show you this. I have a couple MOC boxes that we're going to open for grand openings. Here's my Mad Riddle that I recently found. I have the Scott Hall from Legend Series 11. And this one will not actually be open, but I would like to show it. It's the Series 1 Unmatched Darby Allin with the TNT belt, which is very cool. Again, hopefully everybody enjoyed this, and I will catch you all later. Thank you.